Would you look at that? Ray Charles welding with his feet will do a better job than this. Trying to remove this outer fender structure with the whole dog leg and stuff. So what I did is clean the gap where I thought the spot welds would be, and yes, they are here. I guess they're done by hand, not by the machines. A bunch of them, quite small ones. I had to switch to a smaller drill bit, and they're really close together. So I'm just trying to drill like a good section out of them and see if I can get in there and break them. So we're trying to save the top piece. The bottom one is junk. Let's keep going. So once you see the rust stepping through, so this will work. So just more drilling. We have a new part. Let's just snip this one out. much left here. Here's where we're at. Now need to get the grinding disc and maybe a Dremel or something to get in here and grind all this out. Now let's look at this side. I see light through. Luckily I have a patch pen. Well, let's clean this up. So, looks like I need more parts. I need this member. It's rotten and there is kind of a middle piece with all these holes here. It's also rotten. Because what I have... where is it? Here it is. So I have the outer skin that I just cut off, and I have the inner skin, right? But what we're missing is this piece that goes right here in the middle. So I'll have to go online and look. We need this, and I think the bottom one. Well, the back one is not that rotten. Okay. So we'll be looking for more parts. More parts to rebuild this whole thing. Let me show what we're working with. So we have the bottom of the channel where the door slide, right? So this is the bottom of the door slide channel. We have cut off the external, this dude, and this guy was here. So we either need to drill the spot welds and get this peeled off, but I think I'll just weld it On top of that, we'll have to create a little dip here, but the biggest challenge is to get this piece of the crossbars. So I think what I'm gonna do is top piece, bottom piece, anyhow. So I have bought the multi-tool, that little jiggly thing, so let me get that and see how much damage I can cause. Progress. This little guy did all of this. Well, I did it with the help of it, so we got this part off. So now hopefully I can get in here behind with the angle grinder and cutoff wheel and separate this weld here. It's usually, I think it's like 2 spot welds, but I can peel this off and cut in from the back side a little bit, because it's so rusty I can't guess where the spot welds are. Anyway, so that's the next plan. Here's how it is. That's how we look. I think I need to clean this up before I try to fit it in, but see, all of this is now cleaned up. See, ends are done. Just this little bit, I think, because that's where it needs to slide in. Let's clean this up and try fit it in. Enough cutting and grinding. Let's build this profile here. We only have half. Only half of it. The other half is missing. Right? Where's that thing? So this puppy is supposed to be down here. Something like that, right? So you see this is missing. So for this operation, we need to go and buy ourselves a frozen pizza, and delivery will not do. We need a little thinner piece of paper, so we throw out the crap that's inside and use the box to make a template to go there. And we made a template. Basically like this. So we need this piece of metal. Now we need to make it out of metal. And yes, I did buy a new tool. It's pretty much every time I turn on the camera, I have a new tool. And we replicated it from 16 gauge steel. This is rated for 18 gauge max, so yeah, it was stretching it. I was doing some redneck stuff that you didn't see on camera. So anyway, so we have this thing here. So now we need to figure out the rest of the mess. I actually need to get some 16 gauge steel, because this is, well, for the support this is good to have really strong, but I can't be bending stuff that thick with this brake. Yeah, I can't be bending 16 gauge steel with this brake. Well, at least this long. Maybe short pieces. We'll have to do one more patch there in the back out of the 16 gauge, but I need to get some 18 gauge to kind of finish this off. So another trip to Lowe's or Home Depot to just grab some steel here locally. This is a long weekend, so I can spend some time hacking at this. and then eventually I have a borrowed welder that I never welded with a MIG. I had a TIG before the fire destroyed everything, so I TIGged a little bit but never MIGged, so I'll have to practice on some scrap pieces over there to figure out how to do this. I don't want to screw it up too bad. Very rough mock-up. So we have this piece kinda in. It tucks in under so it's kinda holding itself in place. You can see here this piece. I need to trim up here, there, but looks pretty good. Some trimming. I think we cut the corner by now. We're putting pieces in, or at least trying to put pieces in. So I need to do more grinding and rust proofing, spraying, and learn to weld, and we'll go from there. But today I'm tired already. Not gonna try do something new and screw it up. So we'll pick this up tomorrow, and for you will be a couple seconds. Okay, so this little guy will weld in right here. Right. Come on, light. There we go. Alright, we'll patch it in here. So I have to get one more thing patched up. This hole in here. So cut out this corner, make a couple patches, and then we can clean this up, put anti-rust. Well, need to dress up this corner too. And then we'll be ready for welding practice. For some reason this was about 3.5 centimeters too short. Was a gap here, like wasn't covering this gap, so had to bend this up and extend it. Oh yeah, and I started welding. So those who have a weak stomach, okay, I have to warn you, if you have a weak stomach, you don't want to see these welds. Ain't that pretty? Me learning to weld upside down and blowing holes through this rusty piece of junk. Anyhow, I managed to booger this up real bad. But it was a great learning experience trying to set that thing up, because it has only 2 knobs. You can't adjust the wire feed separately. It picks up the amperage and the voltage, and then the wire feed is tied to one of those. The manual didn't explain. I'm borrowing that from a friend, so that was a good experience. Learning what sort of welder you need to get. So if you want a decent thing, you want to get one with at least 3 knobs, so you can adjust the wire feed and pull down the voltage, because I'm welding with a very small wire, 0.023 I think, yep, for the sheet metal, so this one went quite well. I blew up a couple holes only on the sides. So that's where we are. So it's starting to come together, so now I need to do a bunch of cleanup here, weld prep basically, and we'll put this in. Well, and probably weld this one first somehow. So we'll see. Right here everything started fine. I was able to weld semi-decently upside down, right? So everything wants to drip. But then everything went to shit. Yeah, looks like a blind man welded with his feet here. And I think I figured out why nothing wanted to stick here. I tried to apply some of that rust converter stuff and I couldn't clean it off good enough here because there is no way to get in with any good power tools, so that's why nothing wanted to stick and just splatters as if you have no gas. Anywho, so that's what we have. So don't apply rust converter if you're planning on welding in that spot. That's my lesson. So that's where we are. So we have this guy, the inside. Now we can put the outside skin. I have to punch or drill a bunch of holes in there and then slap it on. And at this moment we need to take a little intermission from repairing the rust on the bus because I bought the house, so that took up some time, and now I need to do some demolition and cleanup in the garage and kind of work area to prepare for the move the bus, move myself, and then we can resume this rust bucket repair.